Emily Parker had lived her entire 19 years confined to a wheelchair. Born with a rare neuromuscular condition, her legs had never supported her weight. Despite the constant physical limitations, her spirit remained unbroken. Growing up in a luxurious Texas mansion, surrounded by wealth and comfort provided by her billionaire mother, Victoria Parker, Emily often felt a gap between material abundance and emotional fulfillment. She longed for independence, to feel the ground beneath her feet, and to experience life as others did. Her days were filled with physical therapy sessions, but progress was painfully slow, leaving her frustrated yet determined to try again. Victoria Parker had built her fortune from scratch, a relentless entrepreneur who dominated the tech industry. Her life was filled with board meetings, investments, and charity events, but nothing brought her more joy than seeing Emily smile. Yet every glance at her daughter's wheelchair reminded Victoria of her limitations, of a gap money could not fill. She had tried every advanced therapy, cutting-edge, device, and specialist, but Emily's condition persisted. Victoria's heart ached, often leaving her in tears late at night, wishing she could trade her wealth for her daughter's ability to walk, run, and live freely. Jake Thompson, a 28-year-old mechanic, lived in a small town outside Houston. Unlike the wealthy elite, Jake's life was modest. He ran a tiny workshop repairing vehicles, creating custom gadgets, and building mechanical devices from scratch. Despite his humble life, he had a reputation for solving complex problems with creativity and dedication. Jake was compassionate and empathetic, always willing to help those in need. When he heard about Emily through a mutual acquaintance, he felt a pull to assist. Unlike professionals with diplomas and credentials, Jake believed in hands-on innovation, combining mechanical skill with heartfelt intent to make the impossible possible. Their first meeting was quiet yet filled with hope. Emily, cautious and slightly skeptical, entered Jake's cluttered workshop. Tools and machine parts surrounded her, a chaotic symphony of invention. Jake greeted her warmly, kneeling to explain the prototype exoskeleton he had sketched. He described how motors and lightweight materials could support her legs, giving her the ability to stand and eventually walk. Emily's eyes widened with a mixture of disbelief and hope. For the first time, she felt someone truly believed she could achieve independence. Victoria observed silently from a corner, anxious yet hopeful, seeing the spark of possibility ignite in her daughter's eyes. Over the next few weeks, Emily visited Jake daily. Every session was challenging. Her muscles, unused for years, resisted the effort. Pain was constant, tears often threatened, and frustration frequently mounted. Yet Jake's patience never wavered. He adjusted the exoskeleton, making modifications to fit Emily's exact measurements and comfort. He encouraged her with gentle words, celebrating small victories, a slight bend of the knee, a longer standing duration, or even a tiny forward shift. Emily's determination grew with each attempt. The workshop, once chaotic and mechanical, became a space of hope and perseverance. Victoria began to see that sometimes progress wasn't about money, but about dedication and heart. Emily's bond with Jake deepened over time. She shared her dreams of attending college, dancing at her prom, and even simple joys like walking on a beach with her friends. Jake listened attentively, tailoring the device to help her achieve these milestones. They experimented tirelessly, testing movements, adjusting straps, and fine-tuning motors. Nights often stretched into late hours, with Jake working under dim lights, while Emily rested, dreaming of a day she could move independently. Each failure taught them lessons. Each minor success fueled hope. The emotional connection between inventor and dreamer strengthened, creating a partnership founded on trust, respect, and shared determination to defy limitations. One rainy afternoon, after weeks of trial and error, Emily took tentative steps. Supported by the exoskeleton, she felt the ground beneath her feet for the first time. The sensation was overwhelming. Fear, excitement, and disbelief battled within her. Jake held her hands, steadying her, whispering encouragement. Victoria, watching from the doorway, gasped and rushed forward, tears streaming down her face. She couldn't believe her eyes. Her daughter was standing, balancing, and moving forward, supported not by wealth but by ingenuity, compassion, and determination. The moment was surreal, a culmination of months of relentless effort, patience, and unshakable faith in the impossible. As Emily gained confidence, her steps grew steadier. The exoskeleton allowed her to shift weight, bend knees, and take short strides independently. Jake celebrated each milestone, adjusting the device and cheering her progress. Victoria's emotions were a whirlwind. Joy, pride, and profound gratitude overwhelmed her. She realized that her daughter's miracle had come not from luxury or influence, but from a mechanic's dedication and belief in human potential. That day, the three shared a moment of pure triumph, understanding that courage, compassion, and perseverance could surpass even the greatest obstacles. Emily's journey had just begun, but the first step had already changed her life forever. The workshop became a hub of inspiration for others with disabilities. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers visited to witness Emily's progress and meet Jake, the humble hero behind her transformation. Stories of determination, innovation, and kindness spread through the community. Victoria, inspired by Jake's work, began supporting his efforts to create similar devices for others, bridging the gap between wealth and purpose. Emily, once confined to a wheelchair, now imagined a future filled with possibilities she had only dreamed of. The combination of mechanical ingenuity and human spirit had created a miracle, proving that no obstacle was insurmountable when heart and mind worked together. By the end of this chapter in Emily's life, she had stood countless times, each attempt more confident than the last. Her laughter echoed in the workshop, a sound of triumph over adversity. Victoria, once helpless and overwhelmed, now felt immense pride and gratitude for Jake's unwavering dedication. Jake, humble as ever, knew the true reward was seeing Emily walk, not accolades or recognition. Their journey had forged unbreakable bonds and ignited hope that others could follow. Emily's first steps were a testament to resilience, compassion, and the extraordinary power of believing in what others deem impossible. The story was just beginning. The following weeks marked a turning point in Emily's journey. Each day in Jake's workshop became a mix of anticipation, challenge, and triumph. Emily's muscles, long unused, protested at first, trembling and burning with every movement. Yet the exoskeleton supported her, distributing weight and giving her confidence to push forward. Jake meticulously adjusted the device, testing every joint, motor, and strap. Emily's determination grew with every tiny improvement, while Victoria watched with a mixture of awe and nervous excitement. The air was thick with hope. The impossible was slowly taking shape before their eyes, step by step, in the quiet workshop. Emily discovered new sensations with each practice: the pressure of her feet against the floor, the subtle balance shifts, the effort required to straighten her legs. All were previously foreign to her. She learned to trust the exoskeleton and her own strength simultaneously. Jake encouraged her to focus on small milestones, standing unassisted for 10 seconds, moving a few steps forward, turning in place. Each success sparked joy, while each fall provided lessons. Victoria often cried silently, witnessing her daughter push limits she had never imagined achieving. The room became a sanctuary of growth, patience, and relentless perseverance, a space where miracles slowly unfolded. Frustration was inevitable. Some days, Emily's legs refused to cooperate, muscles trembling uncontrollably, causing her to fall despite the exoskeleton's support. Tears came easily, but Jake never let them linger. He adjusted settings, modified supports, and encouraged her to try again. His hands were steady, his words patient and gentle. Emily began to realize that failure was not defeat, it was a step closer to success. Victoria, observing this dynamic, learned an important lesson herself, that miracles often require persistence, not just wealth or influence. The emotional weight in the room was palpable, but it only strengthened their bond and reinforced their shared determination. One bright morning, Emily managed to stand for nearly a minute without Jake's assistance. Her balance was still precarious, but the accomplishment was monumental. Victoria rushed to her side, wrapping her arms around her daughter in an emotional embrace. Tears streamed down both faces as the realization hit. Emily was no longer confined entirely by her disability. Jake, wiping grease from his hands, smiled quietly, knowing that the countless hours of trial, error, and dedication had produced this result. The moment was a quiet victory, one built on hope, ingenuity, and the human spirit, proving that even the smallest advances could transform lives in profound ways. As days turned into weeks, Emily's confidence soared. She began taking longer strides, slowly navigating the workshop and eventually venturing. Outside, the sun on her face, the uneven pavement beneath her feet, it was both exhilarating and terrifying. Jake walked beside her, guiding her movements while gradually reducing support. Victoria followed cautiously, ready to catch her daughter if needed. Neighbors and friends who had heard of Emily's progress came to witness the transformation. They marveled at her courage and at Jake's skill. Word began to spread beyond the town, highlighting the story of a humble mechanic and a determined young woman achieving what many thought impossible. The emotional impact on Victoria was profound. She realized that despite her wealth, she had relied on others for too long, expecting solutions to appear through money alone. Jake's hands, calloused and strong, had achieved more than any high-priced specialist or luxury device. She felt a deep gratitude and admiration for him, seeing not just a mechanic, but a man with vision, patience, and heart. Watching Emily grow stronger, she understood that true wealth was measured by human connection and impact, not bank accounts. For the first time, she felt humbled and inspired, grateful that her daughter's life had been transformed by someone who truly cared. Emily's life began to change in unexpected ways. With mobility increasing, she explored simple joys she had never experienced, walking in the park, feeling the grass beneath her feet, dancing at home with her mother. Every movement was a celebration of perseverance, a triumph of courage over limitation. Jake continued to refine the exoskeleton, making it lighter and more flexible, allowing Emily to take longer steps and move more naturally. Victoria began documenting Emily's journey, sharing it to inspire others. Emily's story became a symbol of hope, showing that determination, compassion, and innovation could overcome challenges even wealth alone could not. By the end of the second month, Emily was able to walk steadily across a room with minimal support. The transformation was remarkable, not just physically but emotionally. Confidence replaced fear, laughter replaced frustration, and hope replaced despair. Victoria, witnessing this change, felt an overwhelming mix of joy, pride, and relief. Jake, humble as ever, saw his purpose fulfilled in Emily's progress. The workshop, once filled with tools and metal parts, now echoed with laughter and triumph. The human spirit, combined with ingenuity and compassion, had created a miracle. Emily was no longer just a girl in a wheelchair. She was a young woman claiming her independence step by step. Emily's journey inspired the town. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers visited Jake's workshop to witness her progress firsthand. They were amazed at her courage and at the ingenuity behind the exoskeleton. Victoria began supporting Jake's work, funding similar devices for other individuals with disabilities, bridging the gap between compassion and resources. Emily, once limited by her condition, now envisioned a life full of possibilities: college, career, friendships, and adventure. The collaboration between mechanic, mother, and daughter had created a ripple effect, inspiring countless others to pursue their dreams and challenge limitations, showing that human determination could rewrite what seemed impossible. As the chapter of struggle transitioned into a chapter of triumph, Emily walked steadily across the workshop floor, her smile radiant and unrestrained. Victoria held her, close, tears of joy streaming freely, while Jake looked on, proud but humble. The months of effort, persistence, and unwavering belief had borne fruit. Emily's story had become more than a personal victory. It was a testament to resilience, hope, and the transformative power of love and dedication. Though challenges remained, her first steps had already changed the trajectory of her life forever, proving that miracles were possible when heart, ingenuity, and perseverance united. Emily's progress reached new heights as she gained confidence walking independently. The exoskeleton had become a tool, no longer a crutch, allowing her to explore places she had only dreamed of visiting. Each step outside the workshop was a small victory, each stride a testament to her determination. Victoria followed closely, her heart swelling with pride and gratitude. Jake, ever humble, only stayed by her side, offering support only when needed. The trio's bond had deepened beyond words, rooted in trust, compassion, and shared triumph. The quiet workshop had transformed into a space of hope, joy, and possibility, a symbol of human resilience. With her mobility improving, Emily ventured into social spaces she had avoided before. Cafes, parks, and college campuses became accessible playgrounds for her. Newfound independence, friends and neighbors marveled at her determination, inspired by the story of a young woman refusing to let disability define her life. Victoria, once protective and anxious, now watched with a mixture of awe and relief, realizing her daughter could thrive despite challenges. Jake's invention had not only given Emily physical mobility, but had also opened doors to emotional and social freedom. Emily felt a sense of empowerment, understanding that perseverance and courage could overcome even the toughest obstacles. The news of Emily's transformation spread rapidly through social media and local news outlets. Videos of her first steps went viral, capturing hearts nationwide. Messages of encouragement poured in from strangers who were inspired by her courage and Jake's ingenuity. Victoria, overwhelmed with emotion, expressed her gratitude, publicly emphasizing the role of dedication, patience, and love in achieving miracles. Jake, modest as always, declined interviews, preferring to let Emily's story speak for itself. Their journey became a symbol of hope, demonstrating that miracles are born not from wealth or status, but from compassion, skill, and unwavering determination to make a difference. Emily began pursuing activities she had only imagined before. She attended college classes independently, walked in the park, and even joined a dance class. Each experience filled her with joy and confidence, reinforcing the progress she had made. Victoria watched her daughter blossom, realizing the magnitude of what had been achieved. Jake continued refining the exoskeleton, making it lighter and more adaptable, ensuring Emily could move freely and naturally. The transformation was not only physical but also emotional. Emily's independence allowed her to embrace life fully, while Victoria's pride grew daily. The trio celebrated each achievement, understanding that every small step represented a monumental breakthrough in Emily's life. Victoria, deeply moved by the journey, decided to support Jake's work in a larger capacity. She provided funding to develop similar devices for other individuals with disabilities, bridging the gap between ingenuity and resources. Jake accepted, seeing the opportunity to help countless others achieve mobility and independence. Emily, inspired by her own journey, participated actively in this mission, sharing her story to motivate and empower others facing similar challenges. Together, the three became a team, dedicated to transforming lives, proving that a combination of skill, compassion, and support could create miracles that extend far beyond one individual's triumph. Emily's confidence in walking continued to grow. She began exploring outdoor environments independently, feeling the sun on her face and the wind against her skin. Simple pleasures, like feeling the texture of grass beneath her feet or walking along a sandy beach, became sources of immense joy. Jake's meticulous engineering allowed her to move naturally and comfortably, while Victoria's unwavering support ensured she never felt alone. Friends and family celebrated her victories, inspired by her resilience. Emily's journey had become a beacon of hope, demonstrating that determination, patience, and human connection could overcome even the most daunting challenges. The mother-daughter bond strengthened as Victoria witnessed Emily's independence flourish. Shared moments of laughter, adventure, and accomplishment created memories that no amount of wealth could buy. Victoria recognized the true hero in Jake, whose dedication and ingenuity had turned a dream into reality. Emily's life transformed from one constrained by limitations to a life of exploration, joy, and possibility. She began participating in community events, advocating for individuals with disabilities, and inspiring others to pursue their dreams regardless of obstacles. The ripple effect of their story reached far beyond their small town, influencing countless lives across the nation. Jake, content with the outcomes, continued his work quietly yet passionately. His reputation grew as a humble inventor capable of extraordinary feats, yet he remained grounded, focused on helping others rather than seeking fame. Emily's progress and the emotional impact on her family and community reaffirmed his belief in the power of human potential. Each success story he contributed to reinforce the idea that heroes do not always wear capes. They sometimes wear grease-stained overalls, a warm smile, and unwavering determination. The world saw Jake as a symbol of hope, compassion, and ingenuity, quietly changing lives one step at a time. In the final phase of this chapter, Emily walked confidently across her home, her laughter filling every room. Victoria embraced her, tears of joy streaming freely, recognizing the miraculous journey they had all shared. Jake observed from nearby, proud but modest, understanding that the true reward was witnessing Emily's independence and happiness. The story of a 19-year-old girl defying limitations, her billionaire mother humbled by love, and a humble mechanic achieving the impossible, became a testament to human resilience. Emily's first steps had transformed her life forever, proving that courage, compassion, and ingenuity could create miracles that inspire the world and empower generations to come.